In exercises 9 through 16, find the vertex, the focus, and the directrix. Graph the parabola, include the endpoints of the lattice rectum in your sketch. Okay, so again, we have the x is squared, the y is not. The number here is positive, so that means our parabola is upwards. Okay, so let's start with our vertex. I wanted to call it center. I'm so used to ellipses and hyperbolas. So vertex, remember to make sure you put the x value first and then the y value. So always double check that, because I have made that mistake many times where I've just been in a hurry. X, y, when it was actually y here and x here, and I put them in the wrong place. Alright, so then this number here, we're going to divide by 4. So 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. So that would be like 4 times 1/2. So the focal length is 1/2. Right? Okay, let's sketch this. So this point right here, I'm just going to use the sketch I made. So this point is at -7/3, -5/2. So the focus is going to be up in here, and it's a length of 1/2. So that value is going to add to our y value, because going up it is increasing our y value, right? So we're going to add the 1/2 to the -5/2. So that will give us the focus. It'll still be at -7/3 because it's going to be on that same vertical axis of symmetry. But then we're going to add -5/2 plus 1/2, which will be -4/2. So that's -2, I think. Make sure I did that math correctly. And then we're finding the directrix, so that's on the other side. So for the directrix, we're actually going to subtract 1/2, which would give us -6/2, which is -3. And because it's horizontal, it's y equals as opposed to x equals. So y equals, we're subtracting the 1/2, we get -6/2, so -3. So there's our horizontal line for our directrix. Okay, here's maybe the trickiest part right here. So this distance across here is 2. So we want to find these 2 points. So that is 1 that direction, and that's 1 that direction. That's not too terrible. So we know that this is both a y value of -2. I never did put my axes in here. The axes are like here somewhere, right? But I'm not graphing to scale very well, so that's just a reference. That just helps me understand that everything I'm doing is negative, basically. Okay, so I'm going to add 1 to get this point, because all the way across is 2. So adding 1 to get to that point and subtracting 1 to get to this point. So this focus is here, so if I add 1 to it, I'm adding 1 to the x value, because going to the right is changing our x value. So if I add 1, I'm adding 3/3. So -7/3 plus 3/3 is going to be, sorry, just writing the word endpoints. There we go. So -4/3. And then that will stay on that horizontal line at the focus, which is at -2. So that y value stays at -2 on the same line as the focus. And the other endpoint would come from doing -7/3 minus 1 or -3/3. So that would be -10/3, -10/3, -2. I think I've got everything. Vertex, focus, directrix, graph, endpoints. I'm assuming when it said include the endpoints in your graph that actually means wanting the coordinates. I mean, I drew them there, but it's always better to give more details than less when you're not sure exactly what they're asking for. And I just